all semester long.
Absolutely.
And we had lots of great memories here, lots of good stuff happening, and got hour-long special today, and we got lots of stuff coming up on the way on the show. What do we have?
Absolutely. It's been a great semester. We got Noe with Greg Vettel from the Northwest Arts Center. Also, we have Roxanne with 2 doses of weather today. Phillip Green is interviewing a multi-sport athlete, Bishop Ryan alumni Jordan Will. I think actually right now we are going to send it to Noe with Greg Vettel from the Northwest Arts Center.
The Northwest Arts Center has some amazing exhibits this last fall semester. To give us a little bit of a sneak peek of what to expect in the spring, I'm joined by Art Director Greg Vettel.
Thank you, Noe. It's good to be back on the show.
Yeah, most definitely. Awesome to have you here.
We're really looking forward to next semester. We've got several things lined up.
Awesome. So why don't you go ahead and just tell us what's the first exhibit plan for when we come back in the spring?
All right. So the Arts Center runs 2 annual juried exhibitions, and in the spring here, we're actually going to be showcasing the 50th anniversary of the Paperworks exhibition at Minot State. It's long been a wonderful exhibition, bringing incredible contemporary works on paper to the students at Minot State, our local communities, and the region. And we're really excited about this upcoming show.
Nice. I know usually you guys have a guest artist being the juror of these exhibitions. Who's going to be the juror for this upcoming?
So as the juror for the 50th anniversary of Paperworks, we have Aaron Coleman, who is a printmaker and professor. He teaches at Arizona State University, and he's kind of a rock star in the printmaking world, so we're really excited to be able to have him here on campus. He currently, in concert with the Paperworks exhibition, he has a show that's in the Flat Tail Gallery right now until February.
Nice. And then I know the last exhibit we had over here at the Northwest Arts Center was the Frank Sampson retrospective, which was part of the North Dakota Museum of Arts Rural and Arts Initiative. Can you explain a little bit what the Rural Arts Initiative is?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So the North Dakota Museum of Art is part of its outreach to the state as a whole, has what's called the Rural Arts Initiative, where they tour either smaller exhibitions, or sometimes in the case of the Sampson retrospective, we were able to get the full exhibition from the North Dakota Museum of Art, and they bring it to communities all over the state. And then also work with area schools to promote that exhibition and get high school and elementary age kids in to see those shows. It's really a fascinating thing. We've several years now in concert with the Knotstock Arts Festival every fall, we've been bringing in Rural Arts Initiative shows from the North Dakota Museum of Art to host. With the show this year, we actually had it in the full gallery at the Northwest Arts Center in the Walter Peel Gallery. It was quite a wonderful thing. If you didn't catch it, we do have kind of a walkthrough of that exhibition on Facebook at the Northwest Arts Center.
Gotcha. And what is your Facebook page?
The Facebook page, so it's just www.facebook.com/Northwest Arts Center.
Gotcha.
And you'll be able to look at upcoming events, past events, and image galleries of previous exhibitions.
Awesome. And do you guys plan on working with the Rules Arts Initiative in the future at all? Or
yes. So they renew their offerings through the Arts Initiative, not necessarily every year, but every few years, and we enjoy taking advantage of bringing exhibitions that the North Dakota Museum of Art has curated to the Minot area and the campus.
One of my personal favorite artists to come visit the Arts Center this semester was Noe Garcia. I know he did a couple of workshops with the ceramic students here at Minot State while he was during the America's All Media Gallery. Are there any plans for more artists to come do similar workshops with the students here at Minot?
Absolutely. We're kind of keeping an eye, of course, on coronavirus, and that's influencing our plans for next semester. But we are hoping to be able to have Aaron Coleman come visit us at Minot State, as well as one of our Best of Show winners from the 2020 Paperworks exhibition in April.
And I know you mentioned COVID, and I know that's still a concern to all of us here. I know some people might not want to come out to the Northwest Art Center because of that. Where can we catch these exhibits? Is there a place online? I know you mentioned your Facebook earlier. Was that the best place to come watch it digitally? Or
you can catch programming from the Art Center. We stream live to Facebook. We have a YouTube page that hosts like previous artist lectures, gallery walkthroughs, etc. We also have an Instagram account that publishes content not only from current exhibitions, but also works from the Minot State University collection, and interesting museum-related things and collections-related things as well. We do have a website at the Minot State address as well. It's just minotstateu.edu/NAC, and you can also see select exhibitions on the website as well.
And now you're not only the director of Northwest Art Center here, but you're also a professor at Minot State. What are some of the classes you teach here, and are any of them offered here in the spring, this upcoming semester?
Yeah, yep, I'm an adjunct professor in the art department as well, and I teach classes that are related to my previous professional background as a graphic designer. So I teach the digital tools and print, web, and social media graphics courses here in the art department. This spring, actually, print, web, and social media graphics is being offered. I teach that in the spring.
And are those classes only offered to art students here at Minot State, or is anyone available to enroll?
They're open to all students, and they focus on kind of the software used for graphic design, marketing. We cover like app use on mobile devices, the Adobe Creative Cloud Suite. So it has a wide-ranging application, and the Art 112 class is actually a gen ed. So if you're looking to get one of your gen eds out of the way, you can look at that for an opportunity to get involved in technology and design.
Awesome. And I know you're also a Minot State alumni here, and I'm aware that you've had a prolific acting career. Can you tell us a little bit about that here?
I can. So when I was at Minot State, I was a theater minor. I was an art major, theater minor, and then computer science concentration. Bit of a mix. But I was very fortunate enough to be able to partake in summer theater not too long ago, and it was great to get back on stage, and I'm looking forward to doing that again. Who knows, maybe next season, if we're going to have a live season up at Summer Theater, I'll audition again.
Yeah, that'd be awesome to catch you out there in the summer for sure. Well, it sounds like this spring semester is going to be awesome here over at the Northwest Art Center. Thank you again for joining me today, Greg. You can go ahead and follow the Northwest Art Center on Instagram and Facebook and YouTube as well, right, Greg?
YouTube. We have a YouTube channel as well.
Definitely go catch them there, and make sure you come out to the Northwest Art Center and catch some of those exhibits next semester. How's it going in the studio today, Cole?
Yep, thank you, Noe and Greg, for all of the great insight from that. And we're now going to toss it to a package story from one of our own broadcasting majors, Chad Olson. He has an outlook on the coronavirus with Mark Singer.
Coronavirus is a hot topic these days, although it may not pack as much of a punch as you think. Minot State historian Dr. Mark Singer gives us a perspective on this disease.
The Black Death was apparently much more virulent, much more easily contracted than the diseases that we have today.
Dr. Singer also points out how civilizations of the past handled disease.
Certainly mask wearing is something that was done in response to plague, that was done in response to pandemic. You don't have to look very far to see all of these images of people wearing masks in 1918 as a way of avoiding the spread of influenza.
The pandemic has caused a lot of finger pointing these days, and Dr. Singer says this is also a common problem of the past.
Within kingdoms, that there was a desire to find scapegoats, the desire to find those who had displeased God. Most during the Black Death, the bubonic plague in the 14th century Europe, it was Jews who were identified as being the reason for the plague.
Racism and scapegoating continue to be a problem in America and throughout the world. Dr. Singer offers his advice on how to move forward.
I hope we can learn that it's important at the time of disease that those considerations of class and income and ethnicity have no part in public health.
The outlook on this pandemic may look bleak, but the good news is that we are expected to have a vaccine soon. In the meantime, let us all remember what the past has taught us. For KMSU News, this is Chad Olson reporting.
Awesome job, Chad, on that story. We're going to take a short little break, but don't go anywhere. Coming out of the break, we're going to have Dr. Steve and Shirley on for an interview. But first, we're going to have Roxanne with the weather. Don't go anywhere.
I've been cheering since I was a freshman in high school. I coached for about 2 years. I was a head coach there. It's always been my life. I really love how involved all my teachers are, and they really care. I get a lot of real-world experience here. Public relations to me is all about helping an organization, a business, an individual be shed in a positive light. That's what it's all about. For the KMSU auction, we go around to businesses, we get donations. I got to auction off the packages on live TV. I loved everything about it. I can't tell you how much fun I had. I never knew what I was going to do, and I never had any passions. I have a broadcasting degree. I felt I was at home at school, and I finally felt I was on the right path, and I was actually going to like what I'm doing and be good at it.
Welcome back to MSU Inside Out. We are now going to toss it over to Roxanne for the first of 2 weather segments today. Lately it's been warm, but kind of a little chilly today. Roxanne, what do you have for us?
So currently in Minot, it is 37 degrees and sunny. The high as well is 37 and the low is 18 for today. Let's go on to the state temperatures for today. In the western side in Williston, we have 30 degrees there, 36 degrees in Dickinson, 36 degrees as well in Bismarck, and we're going to go to the eastern side at Grand Forks at 36, and lastly Fargo at 37. Moving on to the 7-day forecast, we have a good weekend up ahead, and then we go on to the new week, and it starts to get a little bit cooler. Make sure you guys are prepared. Bring a jacket. Expect the worst, even though we are having great weather so far. Let's go on to what the Beavers will be doing this weekend. So it is finals week here for us people at Minot State University, so everyone in college, good luck to you. So for the weekend as well, it's going to be really nice, 34 degrees on Friday, Saturday at 30, and Sunday at 23. Everyone, good luck on your finals. I know we're all going to be doing great. So lastly, for our hometown weather spotlight, we're going to take a look at New York, New York. We're going to fast forward to the end of the month and hope that 2021 will be a better year than 2020. Currently in New York, New York, it is 48 degrees and it is nighttime there. The high for today at New York, New York will be 50 degrees and the low will be 37. So now Kaiden has a special guest with us tonight. Kaiden, what's happening?
Well, Dr. Stephen Shirley has been the president of MSU since 2014, where he has overseen more than 4,000 students and staff. Why would you choose Minot State?
Well, this is a great place. I'll tell you what, that's why. This is, as you said, yeah, I'm in the middle of my 7th academic year here at Minot State University, and we've got a great university, as I hope you agree and think as well. With, I was actually just writing this afternoon and reflecting kind of on the year and what a unique year it's been, and you know, this is kind of our time of year when we give thanks and we're grateful for what we have, and I'm reflecting on, you know, just grateful for a very flexible student body that we have, and a wonderful team of faculty, staff, and students, and a wonderful team of alumni and supporters in the community that really support this university, and of just a very caring community in Minot. And well, you put all those things together, this is really a great place to be. And I think on a year like this, it really is highlighted with what we've all been through.
Absolutely. So have you noticed more challenges this year than your previous years?
Certainly. We've learned much more about a lot of medical terms than I don't think I ever knew before. But yeah, absolutely. It has clearly been a year that none of us could have predicted 12 months ago and had any idea that we were heading into. And again, I'm cognizant or just fully aware of how flexible and how adaptive our students, our faculty, our staff have been to get through. Here we are, knock on wood, coming up on basically the last couple of days here of the semester, and we've gotten through. We've had some peaks and valleys through this fall semester, but we've gotten here through to the end, and we continue to deliver on our mission, which is educating students, and so here we are.
Yeah, obviously it's a kind of a touch and go situation. Nobody knows exactly what's going to happen with the virus, but where do you think Minot State has succeeded in battling the pandemic?
Yeah, I think again the fact that we got through the spring semester was really pretty different because it kind of came in a really quick, and we basically turned everybody distance almost overnight at spring break, and we said, students don't return the rest of the semester, and so we didn't have a lot of time to sort of plan or prepare for that. Coming into the fall semester, we had the whole summer, a lot of investments across campus and new technologies, and with plexiglass and spacing students out and new technologies in classrooms and all sorts of different things that we've been able to implement this fall, things that we did for this fall last summer. I think it's made a big difference, and I think, by and large, we have to all collectively as a campus feel pretty good about how we've gotten through and how we've persisted and how we've, sort of had that stick-to-itiveness to get to the end of the semester. Obviously, we're not out of the woods yet. There's certainly very good news here, as it looks like we're about to, the country's about to approve a vaccine and another one next week, and then that will start rolling out. But we still have a long way to go before that's going to start to really reach the masses, and we can really get this virus under control.
Yeah. So I'm sure last year you guys kind of had a plan of attack coming into the semester. Do you guys think you guys have succeeded in that plan of attack? Are you kind of where you at or where you would have expected to be, let's say if you were thinking about it 6 months ago?
Again, there's so many, especially going back last summer, Kaiden, and last spring even when this first started developing, it seemed like, the rules were changing day by day. We were getting new information. The goalposts were kind of moving on us on a daily basis. And I think we've all now, with a full academic semester under our belt, I think we've gotten into a little bit more of a rhythm as a campus, as a community, our faculty, our staff, our students, and you can always look back and second guess on things and say, gosh, I wish we would have done this differently or that differently. But again, by and large, I feel that MSU has handled this about as good as any other comparable college or university, and so I feel pretty good about where we are here in the middle of December, having been through a pretty challenging few months.
Absolutely. So again, kind of the same thing. The plans for next semester, and do you feel comfortable where you guys are at right now going into the next semester, just kind of the plan of attack, I guess?
We do. Again, we've learned some things this semester. We're now gearing up for the spring semester. The plan, as it stands today, we're going to be back in session in early January and be ready for students to return to campus. And again, all of those new technologies, the high flex technology, the different things that we've done in the classroom, certainly those are going to be important again in the spring semester. We hope all of our students get a chance to go home for a few weeks and relax and kind of cool their jets here a little bit and debrief after a pretty stressful semester. Again, things are eventually are going to get better. We're not out of the woods here for a while, including when we come back at the first part of the semester in the spring. But we're all going to be collectively ready to go, and I think this is a really nice period of time that we have for a few weeks of break to kind of everyone just re-energize and kind of refocus and get ready for the next term.
Yeah, for sure. It definitely has been, at least as a student, from my point of view, it has been it's been difficult. You're not in a routine very often. It's a little bit draining sometimes. Has the virus made you approach your job any differently?
You really come to, what I've really come to appreciate is how much I've missed watching you guys in action, our students. I mean, it's fun to come over to KMSU and see you on the on-air talent and behind the cameras and in the control room and all those kinds of things. But so many of those opportunities we haven't been able to do this year. We haven't had athletic contests. We haven't had concert recitals. We haven't had theater, play. We haven't had, all of those things that I love to get out to and come to in the evenings and on the weekends and come out and support our students and see our students in action. We've had very few of those this fall, and I've really come to, understand how much I miss those. And I think a lot of folks across campus missing the chance to see you guys in action and do your thing and what you're doing outside of the classroom, and whether it's on the field or it's on the stage or wherever it may be. And I'm really looking forward to us getting back to normalcy when we can start to again, come out and support you and see you do your things.
Absolutely. So now just kind of getting off the coronavirus topic, what are your kind of plans for this break?
It's a good, it's a good question. I haven't thought that far ahead. I don't have any, again, the one big thing, nobody's really doing a lot of traveling these days, or it's certainly limited. I've got a couple small kids. I'm going to get a chance to spend some time with them over break. It's been a grind for them this year as well, and our K-12 system has done fantastic, and they're in elementary school, so I look forward to getting some time to play with them over the next couple of weeks ahead, more so than I've had over the last few months.
So I know before your time at Minot State University, you were the Dean of Student Affairs at Dakota State. What did you kind of learn from that experience that you kind of brought over to Minot State?
Well, immediately before Minot State, I was president at Valley City State. So that was the preceding 6 years. But then before that, as you mentioned, I was vice president for student affairs down at Dakota State University, which is in South Dakota. And, one of the things that I've thought a little bit about this fall, there was in the state of South Dakota, this is going back almost 15 years ago, but it was when I was in that position, there was a pretty significant mumps outbreak. And there was quarantining and there was isolating, and we were keeping students in residence hall rooms and a lot of those kinds of things. And I hadn't thought about quarantine and isolation for probably 15 years. And again, some of those memories have come back this year. So vastly different than a worldwide pandemic, certainly. But there were a few similarities here in some of those things. And so I think there were some lessons actually that kind of had to dust the cobwebs off in the back of my mind and think about those a little bit this fall.
Absolutely. So kind of going back to your time at Dakota State, would you have said that your time there kind of helped you grow into to help you do your job even better right now?
Certainly, I think so. Dean of Students is really it's a complicated job. You deal with a lot of those things that go on outside of the classroom. So whether you're dealing with residence halls, residence life, dining, disciplinary kinds of issues, code of conduct kinds of issues, dealing with recruiting, enrolling students, a lot of different areas. That's all a part. Oftentimes I think when somebody thinks about a college or a university, they think about the classroom, and they think, maybe if they're an outsider, they know the athletic team, or they think about the classroom, but they might not think about all those other nuances that are really an important part of the overall student life. Those clubs and organizations, student activities, all of those kinds of things that are really important. And so in that particular position, I had a lot of opportunity to grow in those areas, and that's an important part of what we do here at Minot State University in providing those opportunities for our students.
The studio's letting me know that you're a pretty big rock and roll fan. Is there anybody that you would like to see come to Minot State, or anybody that you've seen at Minot State that you really enjoyed?
Wow, that's a good question. We'll do an entire evening on that.
An entire hour?
Yes, maybe we'll bring in. I'm old school. I'm an old guy, but we'll get Metallica here or something someday. How does that sound?
Yeah, no, I'm a big Metallica fan.
All
I
right,
can do with
very
that.
good.
Well, awesome. Dr. Shirley, thank you so much for joining us. We always appreciate your time. We're going to step away and go to Underwriters for a little bit, but don't go anywhere. When we come back, we got Emily with the news and Cole Clementich with Shalom Baer.
Thank you to all of our Underwriters. Trinity Health is a comprehensive healthcare system based in Minot, North Dakota.
Fiancé, with all your prom and bridal needs, located in downtown Minot.
KCJB 910 AM, Minot's news and information station.
Buffalo Wild Wings, wings, beer, sports.
KIZZ FM Z94, playing today's hit music.
Mix 99.9, Minot's music mix.
SRT, offering a number of services including phone, TV, internet, and security.
KRRZ 1390 AM, Minot's classic hits.
KZPR 105.3 FM, Minot's rock station.
East End, where the poor is worth so much more, located in downtown Minot.
Qdoba, easy, on time, full of flavor.
Nice Impressions, no job is too big or too small, located in downtown Minot.
MSU Beavers Hockey, online info at msubeavers.com.
Forward Communication, connecting professionals in the Midwest.
El Azteca, authentic Mexican food on North Broadway near the airport.
MSU Theater Department, year-round entertainment.
Red and Green, MSU's student-run newspaper.
MSU Bookstore, for all your campus needs.
Minot Nutrition Addiction, offering healthy smoothies and meal replacements on the go.
H-Bar-B Construction, for all your oil field needs.
Bear's Cat Donuts, located on Broadway across from Minot State campus.
Oh, welcome back, everybody. Great to have you along here. Cole, we're just talking about it in the break, just talking about it. What are your plans for Christmas?
Well, so far it's kind of undecided currently. My mom's probably watching from back home at her home in Minnesota, so probably go see her. Hopefully, I'm still not sure of what kind of kinks to work around, but hopefully I can see her for just a quick break. But mostly just spending time here at home. Hopefully I can see family. We're just getting all of our COVID cases in our family. Thank goodness I wasn't a close contact, but we had a lot of family that got diagnosed positive for COVID. So they're just coming out of quarantine now. So hopefully we can start seeing them more often. How about for you?
I'm just going back home to Vancouver, Canada. Gonna have to quarantine for 2 weeks, but I guess that's kind of the new normal around here. I guess my parents should be watching right now. Hi, Mom, if you're watching, I love you. Nice to see you. I'll see you soon. But yeah, it should be. I'm excited to go home. Excited not to cook. Don't have to worry about school anymore. Nice little break. But right now we're gonna throw it to Emily with the news.
Hi everyone, so for the last segment I decided that I would come down to the Strip in Las Vegas since Roxanne and I are both from here, just to switch it up a little bit. So mental wellness is not always easy but can be a work in progress, and Greg Vettel has a bachelor's degree in marketing and entrepreneurship from the University of Arizona. He is a part of an organization called Active Minds where he has used his life journey to find hope, identity, and fulfillment. He'll be speaking about adapting to the new normal and mental wellness through this transition of COVID and everything on December 18th at 11 a.m. So please register using the link provided, and for more information about this program you can contact Greg. And as we reach the end of the semester, textbooks will soon need to be returned. Textbooks rented through the MSU bookstore are due by next Friday. So they're operating at the regular hours, and books can be returned in person if you're still in Minot. Since some students have gone home to finish the semester, aka me, obviously, a $5 UPS shipping label can be found to ship books back to MSU. So for further instructions, those have been sent to students via their MSU student email. And Ward County is still in the orange zone for coronavirus, but MSU does not have the same color system as the state of North Dakota. So further restrictions on campus will not be required at this time. The weather is reaching those lower temperatures, meaning that activities are being moved indoors, and our immune systems are becoming a little weaker. So there are currently 11 active cases and 552 recovered cases. 18 individuals are currently being monitored, and Minot State is still at a risk level of 3 out of 5. There is testing tomorrow from 9 to 11, and remember to pre-register before arriving. For any questions about positive and close contact cases, email Deb Hammond or Kevin Harmon. And as always, stay safe by washing your hands and social distancing. And I just wanted to say thank you to everyone for tuning in this semester and just kind of following the journey of our class and our show. So thank you, and I'm going to toss it back to our hosts, Kaiden and Cole.
Thank you, Emily, for the news update, certainly keeping us informed of what's going on around campus. But with that said, she has been doing great wonders with the MSU Red and Green. One of our own broadcasting majors is joining us now is Shalom Baer. And Shalom, how different does it feel to be on set now instead of in the control room?
Yeah, it's kind of weird. I've been on camera before. I did news, and then I actually hosted a year ago, but it's like definitely after you're not up here for a while, it's like weird all of a sudden. I'm like, oh, I'm getting like nervous again about being on camera. And for a while I was like used to it, so it's definitely different.
Yeah, well, like you said, you've done some work on camera before. Obviously, you've been on the show here once, but this semester, you're now the director, so you're keeping us in check of what's up next and what's going on. And just tell us, what's that like for you?
It's definitely different. I was kind of surprised when Neil Roberts, our professor, asked me to take that position. I was like, I don't really know if I'm like ready for that, so I was really nervous the first couple of shows, but it's kind of just, it's a learning experience. Like as you go along, you learn things, and it's like everybody makes mistakes, you know, talent makes mistakes, you make mistakes back there, and like either way, we just figure it out together as a team, and that's the more important thing than worrying about like, oh no, I messed up on that one thing, so.
Yeah, and it's certainly all a learning process for sure, and just kind of tell us, obviously you specialize in writing for the Red and Green, but what are some other things that you have learned along your college career and here in the broadcasting department?
Yeah, so kind of going with the Red and Green thing, like I've done a lot of writing for that, but as editor, I did a lot of extra things that I didn't expect, like just layout and like design stuff and like working on our website. Like that type of thing isn't necessarily what I would consider like my specialty, but I've had to learn how to do that, which has been really good because I feel like it's kind of diversified my skills a little bit. And then I've also worked at University Communications, writing like features and press releases. I did that for, I believe it was a full year. It might have been a little bit longer. That I actually did before the Red and Green, so.
And what got you into writing for the Red and Green? Just tell us a little bit about that.
So I came here for the journalism option. That was kind of what drew me here. I was planning on majoring in that. So definitely I wanted to get into writing, and I wanted to get into newspaper writing. So when I found out about Com 281 from one of the professors who used to teach it when I first started here, I definitely knew I would be interested in that and wanted to pursue that. So it kind of just clicked. So
now it's your senior year here at MSU. You just recently got done with your senior project. Just tell us the emotion of going through that whole process. Like what was going through your mind as that was happening? So I don't know if everyone knows this at this point, but the department's actually moved to doing portfolios, like instead of senior projects. So it's like your portfolio is your project. So that process involved me kind of looking back at all of the work that I've done in the 2 years I've been here, because I actually transferred here from another school. And that was it was kind of surprising to me how much I actually did here, because the couple of years have kind of flown by and I've kind of felt like I didn't really like do enough or experience enough or have enough material to make that. But when I started looking through like my news clippings and different projects I've done, I'm like, wow, I've actually done a lot of things here, which was really kind of cool to see. It was kind of a little nostalgic in a way. Oh yeah, and you mentioned earlier you worked in University Communications. Mm-hmm. What was that experience like? How does it feel working that and being able to add that onto your resume?
That was a really good experience. I actually started that the summer I moved to Minot, so I wasn't full-time at Minot State yet. Like I was just starting, and I started with that internship. So that's where I learned like how to write in AP style, like how to write an article in its most standard form. So that gave me a really, really good baseline working with Mike Linnell over there, and kind of just I was starting from scratch really. I'd always written, but I'd never written AP style and that particular type of writing. So I think that gave me a really good just starting point once I did start writing for the Red and Green and once I started going to school here full time.
You bring up Mike Linnell. How much help has he been for you, and what other things have you learned from a guy like him?
He's been a really great mentor to me as far as writing goes, and he actually was kind of a quasi-advisor for the Red and Green for a semester because we were without an advisor for a little bit, and he taught the Com 281, which is basically the paper class, and he just always tends to have pretty good insight, and he's very no nonsense about things, which I really appreciate. Like anytime we had an issue of the paper and then say something went wrong in it or there was some errors, he would just be like, well, that was the last issue, let's learn from it, let's move on to the next one. And that type of attitude is really good because I sometimes will kind of dwell on my mistakes. So he's definitely been a good influence as far as that. Just like, hey, that's over with, move on, do better next time, don't sit there and think about it too long.
Yeah, can't go wrong there. Any experience that you can get will certainly help out there. Well, this year has been quite different, at least for everyone. How have you handled COVID and being able to work around all the stuff that you have to do? Like, was there any challenges that you had to face recently this year?
This semester was a lot better because I was expecting everything that was going on and I expected classes to be different. But definitely at the end of last semester was a really, really difficult adjustment for me because I believe it was March when we ended up shutting down around spring break. And I work also outside of school, so my work hours were changing a lot, and I was working more hours, and then I was also trying to keep track of my online classes. So that was definitely it was kind of a rough time for me, and I was just glad to have that semester over with. And then after this semester, kind of adjusting to that and knowing a little bit more of what to expect definitely made that a little bit easier this time.
Yeah, so now that we're dealing with that in the present, let's move on to the future. What are some career plans that you have? Maybe some interests that you have going on. And also some future plans maybe in life. What do you have?
Yeah, I definitely always want to be writing in some capacity. That's definitely something that I've always been interested in and I want to keep with. So I'm right now kind of delving a little bit more into some creative writing because I've kind of abandoned that once I started school. So I'm working on kind of a short story right now, which has been kind of fun to get to do that. My plan is to move to Colorado at some point because I miss the Rocky Mountains. I'm from Montana. So I want to try to find a job somewhere with journalism once I'm able to move there. But for now, I want to kind of save up money and everything to be able to move.
Yeah, it may take some time a little bit, but yeah, looks like to be some good future plans there. You said a lot, you're pretty much into writing your whole career and future career interest as well. What would you say, if it weren't for journalism, what would you try to pursue in maybe, if that's not too hard of a question?
No, I wouldn't say so, because I do really like journalism and it's definitely my passion, but I don't see that as my permanent job, because just the nature of the hours and things like that, I want to have a more, kind of a schedule in life and all that, and I want to have kids someday and everything, and that's hard if you have to just be somewhere all the time. So I'll probably move more into magazine writing or maybe freelance website writing, something that I can kind of control the schedule with a little bit more. So I plan to do journalism for a couple of years and kind of stick with that and kind of deal with, I guess, the brutality of it a little bit until I eventually find something a little more stable and a little more routine.
Have you found any corporations or businesses that look intriguing to you at all, maybe?
I don't know of a specific one. Actually, there's a newspaper in my hometown that I really like. It's actually a weekly. It's called the Flathead Beacon. And I don't know if I'd ever be able to work for that because I don't know if I'd move back there. But that's definitely a publication I would enjoy writing for. They do pretty standard news, but because they're a weekly publication, they're able to kind of delve into it a little bit more. So I always compared that to the daily newspaper in my hometown, and it was always way more in depth, and you always kind of learned more from it. Whereas the daily newspaper was just kind of surface level, which is, I think, right now with how fast news is, a lot of times that's all we get is here's what's happening right now, and we don't really get to learn the depth of it because there's always more to a story than just that.
Yep. So you mentioned your local newspaper in town, in your hometown. Obviously, the Red and Green, they work a lot with the Minot Daily. How helpful have they been for you? Just kind of any advice, any word of advice from them, or just kind of what's that like working with Minot Daily?
I would say their biggest contribution that they've done for us is they actually print the Red and Green, and then they are the ones who basically sell the ads that go into it. So really, that's what keeps us going in a lot of ways, is their contribution with that. So every week I go and pick up, or every other week I guess, I go and pick up the paper from them. So that's been really helpful because it would be hard to, it's always in an educational format, it's always hard to find the funding for things and to get things approved to be printed, and it's nice to have that steady, we know we can get it printed with them, with their work and the way they get advertisers.
What would you say was your biggest accomplishment or achievement in your college career? Any favorite project that you just thought, wow, this turned out really good?
That's a good question. I'm trying to think what my favorite. I redesigned the logo and the masthead for the Red and Green. So that's definitely one of my favorite projects that I did that took a lot of time. I got a lot of help from Allison Heisler, who's doing TDing tonight, actually. She's also in the control room. So that's probably one of the ones I'm most proud of.
Yep. And what do you hope to accomplish the rest of your senior year here at Minot State?
I'm actually graduating this December, so I'm done in like a week.
That's
so
good, yeah, that's
I
quick.
hope I pass my finals and don't have to come back to retake anything. Hopefully I will. I'm pretty sure I'll be okay if everything goes well. So just to get through the next week, I guess.
Awesome. Well, we're definitely rooting for you, and thank you for being in front of the camera this time. And but you're still doing great work producing and directing for us. But yeah, thank you today.
Yeah, thank you.
That was Shalom Baer, one of our own broadcasting majors here in the department, doing lots of great work with the red and green, and lots of great future plans on the way. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be right back with Underwriters. When we come back, though, we will have our second dose of weather with Roxanne, and Phillip is going to be joined by a dual sport athlete here on campus. And don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be right back. Welcome back, and a big thank you, as always, to our underwriters going out and supporting the KMSU Broadcasting Department each and every day. We thank them for their support. We got our second segment of weather with Roxanne now, and she's going to kind of take us around the world here. Roxanne, what do you have for us this time?
Thanks, Cole. And yes, so for my last news segment, or weather segment, I thought it'd be fun to take a little vacation everywhere. So let's take our first stop to Mexico City in Mexico. So currently there it is 73 degrees and sunny. The high as well is 73, and the low today is at 52. Let's go on to Egypt, and there it is nighttime, and it's 61 degrees in Egypt. And it's 73 degrees as the high, and the low today in Cairo, Egypt is 55 degrees. Let's go to Sydney, Australia now, and behind me is a beautiful picture of the Sydney Opera House. So in Sydney, it is 66 degrees with partly sunny skies. The high is 68, and the low is 63. We're going to take a trip to Rome, Italy now. And currently there it is 40 degrees and cloudy, and the high for today in Rome is 54 degrees and the low is 39. Behind me is the Colosseum, and lastly we're going to take a look at Athens, Greece. So currently in Greece it is 52 degrees. It is nighttime there, but the high is 63 and the low is 45. And lastly behind me, sorry if I butcher this, but it is it's the Theater of Dionysus. Thank you guys so much for letting me be your weather girl this semester. I hope to see you next semester. And I'm going to take it back to Kaiden and Cole. What is your guys' favorite memory for this semester at Inside Out?
That's a tough one. My favorite memory for this semester. Cole, do you have it off topic? I don't have it off my head.
Just being able to get together with a great group of friends who we all share the same interest, and being able to extend more of our broadcasting resumes, and being able to just kind of touch on some things that we like, but also, being able to explore and create a little more.
Yeah, I guess mine would probably just be getting an opportunity to host. It's been fun. I didn't think I'd be very good at it, but I think I've grown and gotten better at it. Yeah, it's been a fun semester.
Yeah, very fun.
Coming up next, we have a multi-sport athlete extraordinaire and Bishop Rhine alumni, Jordan Will. Phillip Green has everything with him.
A nationally ranked heavyweight on the wrestling mat and a dominant force on the gridiron. He's a dual sport athlete here at Minot State. Joining me now is Jordan Will. Thank you for coming on our show, Jordan.
Thank you for having me here, Phil.
So as I mentioned, you're a dual sport athlete here on campus. What is it like to balance being a dual sport athlete?
It can be a little bit of a challenge. I'm definitely fairly busy year-round. Once you get to college athletics, no matter whether you're in one or two sports, you're going to be doing year-round workouts and constantly busy. But doing two just requires me to balance and keep a good schedule and always stay on top of the academics in addition.
Speaking of academics, you've done a great job keeping on top of that. A couple weeks ago, the NSIC released their Elite 18. Can you tell us what that award is?
Yeah, so the NSIC Elite 18 award is awarded to a member of each sport in the NSIC with the highest cumulative GPA. And so I had the honor of winning that for football. And then we, as Minot State, had another guy for cross country, Jacob Jensen, win it. And to my belief, Minot State hasn't had very many, so honored to receive it.
Can you tell me what was going through your mind when you were first told that you were getting that award?
I was kind of just happy about the work I've put in academically and staying with the football and wrestling programs here. It's definitely been a challenge at times to keep a 4.0, and there's been some late nights, but when I knew that I won the award, it kind of just was a little feeling of that, all that work paying off.
Can you tell the people out there watching who may be future college athletes, what's the importance of maintaining your academics while being an athlete?
Well, I think my main advice on staying on top of the academics is getting ahead of it right away. Coming in as a freshman, it's a lot different than high school. And so if you can get into the right routine right away, you can make sure that you spend enough time studying and staying on top of your school, and that's really going to help you in the long run. If you can come out of college with a good GPA and a good skill set, you have a very good chance entering the workforce.
We are currently at the start of wrestling season here at Minot State. What are your goals for wrestling this upcoming season?
For wrestling, just to win every match that I get. We're looking at 6 duels coming up and hopefully a regional tournament and a national tournament. So I need to perform well at the regional tournament, hopefully qualify for nationals and become an All-American. And as a team, I think we're capable of being in a top 3 NSIC finish, and that's something that we need to definitely shoot for this year.
Unfortunately, at the end of last wrestling season, you had an ACL injury. How is that recovery going for you right now, and where are you in that recovery process?
So I've come a long way in my rehab for my ACL. It's definitely been a challenge, but I'm starting to feel really good. I was injured last February, so we're around 9 months since I've had surgery. So just being grateful for being able to get back into the swing of things. I'm pretty much full go now, so it's definitely been fun getting back into it.
We're going to switch over from wrestling a little bit and switch to your other sport, football. Minot State recently hired a new defensive coordinator. He's also your position coach. Can you tell us what your thoughts are on Coach Mike Shepper?
Yeah, so we just got Coach Mike Shepper hired in February, I believe. He's been a character for us. He has almost unlimited energy that he brings to the room. He expects us to operate at a high level, and he's willing to teach us everything we need to do that. So I've been very grateful for him coming on so far.
Yeah, he's definitely a little bit different than what we've been used to here at Minot State for football, but he's an awesome coach to be around. Going with the goals, what are your goals for the upcoming football season next fall?
Well, for one, just hoping that everything shakes out, that we can get a season in the fall, because we unfortunately weren't be able to get one this year. I think the team has come a long way and is ready to have a solid winning record and a good run at the NSIC title.
Do you have any personal goals for yourself on the football field?
For the football field, I'd like to be named all-conference and really get into the backfield and get better, especially with my pass rushing next year.
So you are a Bishop Ryan alum. You're from here in Minot. What made you choose to come to Minot State?
Well, Minot's always been home to me. I think it's a great home to have. I think there's great people here. I think it's not too big and not too small, and I think really the friends that you can meet in Minot is really what makes it worth it, and that's why I had to stay around such a great area.
Yeah, it is. It's a great area to be around. Minot State athletics as well as the school are going a lot of wonderful places. I want to step away from sports here for a little bit and get to know more who Jordan Will is. What do you like to do outside of sports and school here at Minot?
Well, I think especially spending time with family, and one thing that my family likes to do is go hunting and fishing in the great state of North Dakota. Whether we're going down to Lake Sakakawea, also known as the Big Lake between Minot and Bismarck, or hunting. It's not that hard to get out of town in Minot, and that's what I like, is just going out into the wilderness and being in the open and just enjoying everything that the state has to offer.
Do you have any Christmas or winter break plans coming up after finals next week?
I don't have anything too extreme. I know I'm going to be seeing some family around town, and definitely if it cools down a little bit more weather-wise. I know we've had very warm weather, but hopefully getting out ice fishing once the lakes start to freeze up, that's definitely something I like to look forward to with winter break without classes getting in the way of that.
Do you have any, for both football and wrestling, do you have a favorite memory for each sport so far in your career?
Yeah, I would say for football, I think my favorite memory was my junior year. So the previous year we had a football season when we beat Concordia. It was a very big win for the program, something that took a lot of brotherhood, a lot of grit of guys just coming together and pushing and doing what some people thought we couldn't do. And then for wrestling, we had a big dual win last year against Augustana, something I was very proud of. I was able to be the last match in that duel, and just being able to look over at my bench and my teammates after we won the duel and seeing their expressions, it was just great.
Yeah, the Concordia game was awesome, and I do remember being around some wrestlers when you guys had upset Augustana. That was awesome to see as well. Lastly, you are part of the leadership council on the football team at Minot State. Why do you think it's important to work on leadership skills as both an athlete and a student?
I think leadership is something that's very important to develop. I think it's very important that we have a council to work on that, and that it is important just to work on in life, because I don't think anyone's just a naturally perfect leader. I've learned a lot since I've come to college. I think Coach A on the football team has been really good in helping us see how to become better leaders and what it takes, and something that I think is just going to help us out later on in life.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Again, that was NSIC Elite 18 football winner here at Minot State, Jordan Will. Make sure to check him out both on the wrestling mat and the gridiron. I'm Phillip Green. You've been filled in.
Yep, welcome back, and thank you, Phil and Jordan. Always nice to hear from a Bishop Ryan alumni there and current MSU athlete. And yeah, it was good stuff, guys.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's been a great semester, a great show. I'd like to thank Dr. Shirley, the president, for coming on and getting the interview. Also, Greg Vettel from the Northwest Arts Center. Phillip Green with the multi-sport athlete extraordinaire, Jordan Will. Yeah, what else we got for him, Cole?
Yeah, it's a great show. Roxanne being able to explore the world a little bit for us for the weather segment, and good job by Chad. He runs the graphics for us, or some of the graphics. He did a great job with that package, news story there. It looked very professional too. So
absolutely,
yeah, great show, great semester. We certainly thank you guys for sticking with us all throughout, and yeah, we're excited for the future.
Yeah, we'd like to thank all the viewers, especially the people in the control room. It's not an easy job. They make everything go very smoothly from week to week. You can follow us on YouTube at KMSU TV, Twitter at KMSU 19.
Yep, Facebook is also at KMSU 19, and the Instagram page, you can follow that at KMSU TV Radio. Be sure to check out the live radio stream as well, playing 24/7, 365, KMSUradio.com. You can stay connected with the KMSU brand on all those platforms.
Absolutely. Last but not least, I'd like to thank you, Cole, for being my co-host this year.
Thank you, Kaiden.
Very fun.
Right back at you.
Awesome.
Yep.
Well, yeah, thank you for sticking with us, and that was Inside Out. Thank you very much. See you next time.